did that come about? The fastest cars in the Dirty South, like you being on your show and just being on TV. Like, how did it come about? And how just take us through how you were feeling when you got the phone call and just the newfound fame, which people knew you already,
Right.
but you placed in front of a whole new audience and stuff, and newfound fame, new people know you and stuff. So take us through that.
So Eric Malone,
Yeah,
he's a straight jackass. Okay,
Yeah.
he is. He's a straight jackass.
really.
But me and him at one point we were cool.
Yeah,
He called one day. I picked the phone up. What up, E? What's happening? He said, "Look, I ain't gonna beat around the bush." He said, "I got something big coming up." I said, "Okay." He said, "I need you." I said, "What you need?" He said, "Well, I know you are the person to help me get this off the ground." I said, "Okay, what is it?" He said, "I can't tell you too much about it right now." I said, "Man, how you gonna call me and tell me you need me to help you, but then you won't tell me what I'm helping you with?"
Yeah.
I said, "We could be going out to the rob a bank or something. Come on, man. No, it ain't nothing like that. Just know this. You might get a phone call from a TV producer." I said, "Man, go on, quit playing." He said, "I'm serious." Well, this was like August.
Right.
Okay. I got my phone call November, December. "Hey, Malcolm, Nate Stark." "Okay. Eric Malone gave us your number." "Oh, what's up?" "Okay. Look, you got a few minutes to talk?" I said, "Yeah, go ahead." So, he's telling me briefly. He wouldn't say what they were doing. He
Yeah.
was just telling me briefly that they were going to be filming a TV show.
Gotcha.
They had done their homework, and I would be perfect for.
They done looked you up and everything.
Right. So he said, "I'll be calling you back with my partner, Mark Finkelpearl, and we'll go over some things." I said, "Okay." Now this is, like I say, November.
Right.
All right. January, they finally called me. And they say, "Well, we need you and your team to be able to meet us. We're gonna let you know it'll be a track in Alabama, blah, 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 blah."
Yeah.
"Okay, what we doing? We can't tell you that yet." Okay. So I'm laying in the bed one Saturday morning. I done been out late Friday night racing or something. I don't remember what, but anyway, it's about 10, 11 o'clock, and I just happen to roll over because my phone is always on vibrate. It's never on ring.
Right.
I just happen to roll over, and I see it lit up, and I look at it, and it said Nate Stark, and I answered, "What's up?" "Hey, man, we need you in Jackson, Tennessee, tomorrow, 3 o'clock. And I go to looking up, Jackson, Tennessee, Okay, yeah, it's about 3.5 hours from here. And then I hit the weather. "Oh, so whatever we doing must gonna be on the inside." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'm looking at the weather and it's saying it's 100% chance of rain tomorrow."
Right.
He says, "What?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Hey, I'll call you back. Click. So Karen like, "What was that?" I said, "That was the TV producer, talking about coming to Jackson tomorrow, but it's gonna rain."
Right.
It rains again. I look at it, it's him. Hey, now at this point, it's about 11, 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
"I need you in Jackson today."
And you had just been out the previous night race.
Man, the car dirty, the truck dirty. Deal in Gordo, I don't even know where Uncle Van is. So I'm like, man, I don't know if I can make it. Look, get here as quick as you can. So I called them, and we all met up. Up the road we went. So when we got there, when we pull it in, there's drones in the sky, and there's people over behind, the sign over there filming.
They got the whole setup.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there like, oh wow, dang. Because you could tell everybody was filming us.
Yeah.
So when I pulled up and I got out, they walked over and they introduced themselves. I'm like, "Okay, nice to meet you. Stay right here." What? That was it. It was stay right here.
Right there.
They went down on the other end with Eric and Brant. I could see them down there filming some stuff. Okay. When they come back up, Eric, Brant, Mikey, all of them, Barry Hill, they come walking around the corner, and Brant says, Malcolm Storey, we're going to beat your butt and send you back to Alabama broke.
So they got the cameras running at this time.
Mm-hmm. So I flipped this guy hat off on my head. So, tell you what, buddy, bet enough money, you ain't got to worry about how I get back to Alabama. And everybody started laughing, and Nate was like, cut. You don't have a mic on. I said, no. He said, how did you know what to say or do? I said, man, I talk trash every weekend.
This is me.
Yeah, this is just me. So, okay. Mic him up. Camera one, Malcolm. Camera two, Eric. 3, wide. 4, this
still happening
now,
quick.
Go back, and y'all come back around the corner and do it again. See, they ain't told me what we doing.
Right.
I'm just, So they go back. They come back around the corner. Hell, Eric can't say nothing. He just said
he couldn't remember nothing.
He couldn't remember nothing. He just said he all over the place. This and that. This and that. So finally, I'm like, hey, look, man, just go back, come back around the corner, and just say this, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So that's what they did. Come back around the corner, and he said what he said, and that's when I said the little stuff that I said. I said, this in a little dude, right? And he said, yeah, and I said, oh. And when I did that right there, that was the first time I had ever did that bar.
Yeah.
And when I did that, everybody at the track just fell out laughing, and Nate was back there with a smile on his face so big, I could see the grin, all up in his head because he was grinning so hard. He was grinning like the Joker. So with that being the case, they were like, cut. So, Mark walked up and he was like, have you ever did TV before? No. Man, so how did y'all look, man, this is just me. This is who I am. Yeah, I do this every weekend. I cut up clown. I like to have fun.
Yeah.
Well, okay, well, look, this is a pilot, what we call a pilot episode. We're doing this to see if we can get granted a season.
Yeah.
If we do get granted a season, because we're funding this with our own money, we can get you a race jacket or a helmet or something, couldn't, take care of your fuel for coming and so forth and so on. And if it turns into something big, maybe we can do something else for you. I was cool just to say, you know what? I'm going to see myself on TV one time. I'm cool without me being on there, wanted, he killed 34, something like that. I'm on there,
doing something you love to do.
So I'm like, I'm cool with it. So, all right, we're going to need you to come back up here. I think they told me like 2 weeks, 2 weeks ended up being like a month or longer. And it was like, hey, we need you ASAP.
Right.
So here we go. We run back up to Jackson. We go to filming. All right. I kick a rod out.
And this the nice 434. Yeah.
I kick a rod out. Actually, it wasn't even. It was a 434, but it wasn't that one. I had took the motor apart, gonna freshen it up. Yeah. And they called me in the middle of the freshen up. Yeah. So I had to go borrow a motor to put in the car. And I be doggone. The motor had some Oliver I-beam rods that was only rated for like 400 or 500 horsepower.
I was just about to say it ain't rated that high. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that pass that you see us going down the track, I kicked the rod out and broke the camshaft. Man, let me tell you, let me just put it like this here. I destroyed that motor so bad that we had a set of heads and an intake.
That was it.
That was it.
The whole bottom end wasn't usable. The block, nothing.
It even bent the distributor some kind of way. Yeah. I mean, yes, it's some of the lifter steel in the block. And like I said, that was a borrowed motor. So, but I was kind of in the dumps that night because I had done tore up this motor, lost the race, and then they walked over and they were like, we might could use you if this goes over good, and I think it will. Well, about 3 months later, they called and said, we've been granted first season.
Oh,
And I was
man.
like, good. I'm happy for y'all. Now, at this time, me and Eric, all them, we all, getting along just
Everybody,
fine.
yeah.
What happened, they wanted me to be part of another episode. And I went up and I did it. And I never will forget it. They said they didn't need me no more. And I left and went to Texas. I don't know. I went viral out in Texas when I ran this guy out there with a Malibu.
Yeah.
And I left. When I turned the button loose, it blew the tires off. Malibu gone. And then I actually drove back by him on top
Went
side.
and caught him, yeah.
Man, that was the first video that I had ever been on that had that many views and shared that many times.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy. And I'm on my way back and I'm thinking, because everybody calling me saying, man, I seen the video.
Yeah,
man. So I'm on my way back and I look down, I see Nate Stark calling. And I'm thinking he calling because of the video.
The video, yeah.
And he was like, hey, man, where you at? I said, I'm coming through Louisiana. He said, I need you back on set. I said, huh? He said, everything that I'm doing now, the network wants more Malcolm Storey, more Brent Arnold. So that's what happened. That's how I got to be a part of it. Me and Brent would always cut up and have fun together.
Yeah.
And that's what it was all about. The show was about regular, ordinary guys.
Yeah.
We was not trying to be the street outlaw guys that's got these $1 million budgets and
Right.
we were just good old country boys that's working every day for a living that like to go out and race and have a good time. That's what the show was about. And the element that I brought to the show was, okay, for instance, your wife, it might not be a car guy.
Yeah.
But she might like the plot or how we cutting up and having fun. So therefore she's watching it with her husband and the kids. So
the storyline grab them.